In this video, I want to showcase an item that I spent money on. If you've watched any of my budget videos, you will see that I tend to really enjoy my hobby budget. So I thought it would be fun to do a series where I explore things I spent money on and talk about whether it was a worthwhile purchase or not. What you'll see is a Remarkable Paper Pro. Now, I will say this is a budgeting channel, not a tech channel. I won't be repeating all of the technical specs that you see in some of the other videos. There are plenty of other channels that have that kind of information. I actually follow a couple of those channels. If you do a quick search on YouTube, you'll find other people that are going into the spec, how it compares to other devices, and things of that nature. For me, I just want to talk about things that I enjoy and spent my money on, and maybe I'll talk about some things that I didn't enjoy that I spent my money on. But this is one of those things that I enjoy. Before I get into some of the ins and outs of this device, and I hope you can see it, this is a Remarkable Paper Pro. This is an upgrade. This company also has a Remarkable 1 and a Remarkable 2. If you haven't heard of it before, essentially what it is it's an e-ink notebook. The reason that I purchased this device is because I actually heard about the Remarkable from my sister, and she brought me a Remarkable 2 when they came out. And we both got one and we used them for notes and work. So this one, it looks like my files haven't synced yet, but this one I'm contemplating selling, but I might just keep it because the RM2, as you can see, is the smaller lightweight version of the device. I don't know how good you can see that on screen. It's a little bit thinner, a little easier to carry, and it's been great for taking work notes, jotting down thoughts, and things like that. So I may keep this, but I'm also thinking about selling it because I do have the Remarkable Paper Pro and a few other e-ink devices, and I probably don't need as many as I have. We'll see. I'm going to give it some time before I sell this device. Now onto the device. Why did I purchase this? I mentioned before it's a e-ink device. This is one of the cases that they offer with the device. It's actually a folio keyboard case. I don't know if you can see that, but it's got this really cool keyboard, so it automatically switches to landscape mode when you open up the keyboard. Sorry, it's not the best content, but it also moves to landscape mode, and it's a really satisfying typing experience. I'm gonna move it back and maybe I'll hold it like this. As you can see here, you've got some settings. You can actually lock the screen, you can put it in airplane mode, and you can mirror the screen. So if you watched my latest video on how to create a budget, I actually use screen mirroring from this device to walk through the steps of how to create that budget. Another reason that I brought this is because some would say I own a good amount of things. I'm actually trying to decrease the number of things I own. And one of the realizations that I had a few months ago is for work, I tend to take a lot of notes. I am a product owner for my company, and so sometimes I take notes and I look back on them and I need to refer back to them. And then other times I take notes and I'm okay with getting rid of those things. But I bought this to help me with that because I had recently moved from one notebook to another notebook and I lost some data. I needed to put my hands on some notes that I needed to reference and I just couldn't find them because I had switched to a new notebook and I didn't know where I had placed the old notebook. So this helps me with that. And then also I am a planner girly. So I love paper planners. I love stickers. I love decorating. I love all the things that come along with that. One of the things that I've ran into, I've been planning, let's see, since 2016. So I've been planning for quite a while. And one of the things that I run into is where to hold some of that information. Oftentimes what I'll do is I'll end up throwing the planner away. Having a digital format will help me get over that. Now, with that being said, I do have an iPad, but I didn't want to use my iPad because the Apple Pencil is great and I use it all the time when I'm marking up crochet and knitting patterns, but it doesn't provide that satisfying feel of pen on paper. I'm really into the tactile feel of paper and books, even though I have gone digital with a lot of those things, but I find myself missing it. With the Remarkable, one of the things that you get is that pen on paper feeling. Even though it's not exactly like pen on paper, it does provide a little bit of feedback. So this angle is a little wonky because I have this, it's not even a tripod. I have this device that I'm using that's a semi tripod. And so I'm trying to get video footage and talk and be able to reach the device, and I'm having to reach around the tripod. But it does provide a really good tactile writing feeling. So as you can see here, I have a lot of notebooks. There is a subscription fee. Like I mentioned, I had a Remarkable too, and so I was grandfathered into their Remarkable Connect. It's basically a cloud app where you can back up your files, and they do charge a fee for that subscription. I can't remember if it's $2 or $3 a month so that you can back up your files on a regular basis. I believe by default, if you don't purchase the subscription, you can still use the device, but I think it will only store your updates for like 30 days. And there are workarounds to that. There are other channels that I have seen where they are able to do a workaround to make sure that their devices stay up to date and in sync with the cloud. My use case, as you can see from this device, some of the things that I've really enjoyed is articles. So I have an iPhone, and with my iPhone, I can go to any web page, go to print a file, and what it'll do is that will translate it into a PDF, and then I can send it to the Remarkable. It shows as a shortcut in my phone that makes it really easy to get anything that I might want to read on this device. For example, I have a subscription to the New York Times, and I can send those emails here to this device, and I can read them and I can mark them up. I can highlight different things that I find interesting because this particular device does have color on it. I can highlight things in different colors that I find interesting. I can make notes of things that I want to go back to, and I can annotate articles, and that really helps me get immersed in whatever I'm reading. The other great thing, I don't know if you just saw that about this device, is that you can do shape. It's a little particular where you have to make sure you close this shape and hold it for a few seconds, but it can do shape. So if you're making notes and you want to square something or circle something, they do snap to grid. I'm not sure if you saw it a few seconds ago. It does have a screen refresh. I know a lot of people complain about it and they mention that it's jarring, but I own other devices, and while if you're new to e-ink, it may be jarring. I noticed that my Kindle does it and some of my other devices do it as well. I'm not put off by that, but if you're not used to an e-ink device, it can be off-putting. The other thing that's great about this is tag. You're able to tag pages so that you can easily reference them. The file structure for this is mostly based on folders. So if you saw my homepage, you see I have different folders for different things. Anything that is folded down on the corner is a PDF, which all of these are PDFs, and anything that's not folded down, let's see if I can create one. Anything that's not folded down and it has this bar on the side is a notebook. And you can move pages around between notebooks. You can add pages to PDF documents. It's a little more difficult to move pages around in certain PDFs. Like, for example, I created these covers for these notebooks, and when I went to go move pages around, I can't remember what I did to work around that. But I got off track. So, tags. You can use tags to organize different things. Like here, if I click tags, like I tagged some documents Remarkable Paper Pro because I knew I was doing this video. And if you can see, I actually wrote up some notes about different things that I like about the device and different things that I don't like. I actually was planning on pulling this document up on the Remarkable 2, but I forgot I had reset it. So I am actually using the Remarkable app on the computer to look at the same document to make sure that I talk about some of the things that I wanted to talk about. So another great thing, if you have the type folio, you can type up notes, and I really love this. You can type up notes and you can get them all clean and neat looking, and then you can highlight over them, and you can also add handwritten notes to a type note. I really, really love that. Writing on a type page for some reason just makes me so happy. I think it makes me feel like I'm a writer or an editor, and I'm not, but it's really fun for me. I really enjoy it. There are some other tools and shortcuts here, but I won't go into that on this video. I'm sure there are other channels that go into them, like layers, how you can create different layers if you like to sketch or highlight and you want to add a layer, remove a layer. You've got cut, paste. You can move text around the page. Like I can take this and then move it up here if I wanted to, things like that. The other thing is Remarkable has a lot of really good templates. So I'm going to go here. Okay, so Remarkable has some really good templates. It took me a few tries to swipe down because I'm so far away from the device. I just brought down the quick toolbar, and it's also got the favorites here. They have really good templates. So they had a bullet journal template that I downloaded, but I'm not using that one. This template is a 2025 to do. It's actually a PDF document where it's got all the dates of the month, and then all of these are clickable pages. So today is May 5th, so I'm going to click there, and it'll take me to that page, which is today's date. And then it also has the weeks. So if you wanted to write down things for the week, it would take you there as well. And so it has a lot of good planner templates if you're a planner. But one of the other things that I enjoy about this device is that you can also upload other PDFs. So if I go into this budget folder, the Budget Mom Budget by Paycheck workbook, you can get a digital copy of this. I got this in 2021. Can't remember what it cost back then or if it was free, but it's undated and you can use this template to basically do your budget by paycheck and your budget mom items. And the good thing about this being digital is that you can duplicate the pages. So if you needed more pages, you could duplicate it. If you wanted to use it this year and next year, you can just make a copy of the PDF. And so you can save money and save on paper just by repeatedly using what you already have. The last thing that I wanted to talk about, and I'm going to go back to my tags page and I'm going to go to my notes. Another good thing about this is that you can create a page just by swiping right. You can create multiple pages in a notebook. I believe I have some already created, but see, you can go here and it'll create another page in the same template that you were on. But if you wanted to change that template, you can go here and select a new one and choose something else. Another thing about this device that they recently implemented is continuous scrolling. So you can make your page as long or as short as you needed. So if you have a specific meeting or a specific topic and you want one long page of notes versus having to swipe through various pages, you can do that. For this page, I used it for things that I thought could be improved. So I talked about the flashing. It's pretty common for e-ink devices, but like I said, other people have mentioned that it's annoying. Also, the organization system. So I am accustomed to the Remarkable. And, if you use a Windows laptop, they use the same file organization system. It's not that different with the file structure and tags. I don't mind it, but there are other e-ink devices, and there's another one that I might go over, the Supernote Manta. And the way that they allow you to organize your notes is phenomenal. They have a system where you can link certain notes to other notes, you can add headers, you can put certain things on quick access. I really like that note-taking system. I think the perfect device is if I could merge the two together, but I really enjoy the Remarkable Paper Pro for what it is. A thing that could be improved upon is the size and weight. The Remarkable Paper Pro is significantly bigger than the RM2 in size. You've got a good bit of extra space just here on the bottom of the device. It is heavier to carry around, and then especially with me having that keyboard case, it does add extra weight. So I do have a case that doesn't have a keyboard on it just in case I want to like reduce the weight of it, because I do find it heavy. I usually set it down on the counter or wherever I'm going to be for the day and leave it there. Another issue is dead pixels. Some of the devices, especially any e-ink device that has brightness on it, like this one does, you do have an instance where you could run into dead pixels. This is actually my second Remarkable Paper Pro. I had one initially and it had dead pixels, but I didn't sell it because of that. I sold it because I thought I didn't need another e-ink device, but then when I sold it, I realized I missed it, and so I repurchased it. But it is a possibility that you get dead pixels. This one also requires that the pen charge up. So the previous device uses any type of e-ink stylus, any type of EMR pen. There are a lot of third-party pens that you can use. So if you don't like the standard pen that the RM2 comes with, or if it's too heavy for you, you don't like the way that it writes, you have the option to switch it out. But with this device and this pen being chargeable, you can't swap it for third-party marker if you don't like it. It's not a cheap pen, especially the Marker Plus pen. I believe it's maybe 100 plus bucks. That's a con. Also the customizations. I really had to be strategic about how I created notebook covers and found images for notebook covers for this device. But the other e-ink device that I mentioned, the Supernote Manta, is made to be customized, and they make it really easy for you to import images into the device and update your notebook covers. And also the Supernote Manta has also recently been updated to allow you to make stickers. There are a lot of free templates out there for stickers, and it's a really fun way to add to the page. Although the Supernote Manta is black and white only. Last but not least, the price of this device is astronomical, and with all the recent changes to the economy, the price is only going to go up. I got really lucky. I found my first device on Unclaimed Baggage, and it was super underpriced. And it came with a keyboard case. I don't think they realized that the case was a keyboard case. And it came with a marker, and it was a great deal. And then when I sold that device and repurchased it, I bought this on eBay. And then I also was able to work with the seller to get a really good deal on it. But if you buy it brand new from the Remarkable website, it is a pricey device. I think it can range anywhere from 600 to 750, just depending on what accessories you get. So, who is this device good for? In my opinion, this device is good for anybody. If you work in a profession where you take a lot of notes, where you do a lot of sketching and jotting down ideas, it's really good for that. If you are retired or a homemaker and you have to keep up with schedules and plans and track ideas, and you want to do a Bible study, or if you like to journal, or you want to write out your budget, this is a really good device for that. My favorite thing to do when I have free time is to go in here and to go to my budget folder, find a blank page, and to just scribble out ideas and projections about my budget. I've typed up some notes about my 2024 budget review. This is my video where I said what I spent in the month, even though some of these I did not talk about, like the Steam Deck OLED that I purchased last month. I like to write projections of my monthly bill just based on how life is lifing at the moment and how much money I think I would save if I paid off my debt, what my current bills are, what my income is, how much I can save. I really do enjoy this device. What have you spent money on lately? Do you think that you'd be interested in e-ink technology and being able to not rely on pen and paper so much? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.